Yo, what is up, everyone? This is Connor from the YouTube channel. Uh, kind of tuning in, doing like one of those weird, just kind of talking head videos. There's really not going to be a ton of rhyme or reason to this. This is going to be like live gameplay footage and stuff. Um, Kind of just talking about, how I'm doing, where I've been, um, and then about also kind of how I'm feeling about the whole state of Skylanders going into 2026. I know it's a little bit delayed on that, but 2026 it'll mark 10 years since the last Skylanders release. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit and also have a little bit of background footage. Um, there will be timestamps in the description down below, just to kind of, you know, hear about how I'm doing and stuff. But without further ado, I'm gonna kick on a little bit of music here. See if you guys can't hear that. Oh man, the music's quiet. Okay, cool. Um, so first off, where have I been? And the main answer is I had a hiatus from streaming that was longer than anticipated, and honestly, a hiatus from just like internet and anything having to do with being online. Realistically, just the holidays were a lot. It was kind of taxing. Um, I've also kind of gotten into a position at work where uh, free time just isn't as free anymore. Um, I work in a job where it is very critical that I pass certain tests, and one of those, like, it's probably going to be one of the biggest slash hardest tests I take in my entire life, and that's coming up in March. And I've been dedicating about 4 to 5 hours to studying for that every day, on top of normal daily life and work. Um, Tertiarily, lastly, if you can't tell, I am very under the weather. I have absolutely no clue what is wrong with me. But my voice and my stamina just aren't there. I'm assuming that this is some sort of bronchitis mixed with a cold. So I'm just kind of trying to tough through it, get through life, get through all that stuff. I'm gonna bump up the music a little bit here. Just try and get through all that stuff while trying to do that. But yeah, so as I was mentioning, free time just isn't that free anymore. So streaming is gonna be not on a hiatus, just it's gonna be much more sporadic, much more sparse. Uh, it kind of sucks. It's unfortunate, but I mean that's the breaks of the situation I find myself in. And at least for me, it's more important that I am passing these tests than focusing on being a niche internet celebrity for a game that hasn't existed for 10 years. So yeah, I still have plans for Doomstone. I mean, ideally, what I would like to do is I would like to do one just long stream where I can do it and then announce the giveaway at the end of that stream. But again, it's all going to be subject to, do I have the time to do it? And I'm going to get better about kind of just carving out time. The other thing is probably you're going to see more content like this. Not necessarily the talking head videos where it's just me rambling behind gameplay, but it will be more so long form, meaningful content. Um, so just anticipate on that. Last thing I want to talk about myself or the channel is how you guys are feeling about the giveaway. Give me one sec. So the issue I'm running in with giveaways is it's not necessarily a financial restriction, right? Um, I'm still interested in Skylanders. I've been having actually a really decent time finding Skylanders here in Colorado as opposed to Indiana. Um, so my thing is, well, I should say, the issue I've been having is I haven't been able to really obtain super rare Skylanders like I've wanted to, at least in a feasible way for me to do the giveaways. Because normally with the giveaways, I'll buy things in a bundle, I'll give away the things I don't need in that bundle, but those just are going away. I don't know why, but it's not becoming as feasible for me to go out and get the Doomstones of the world and give those away. So, here's kind of my proposition to you guys, and I just want to know your guys' thoughts on this. I already have the next giveaway figured out. I do have that situated, so I'm very happy about that. But here's a question I'm going to propose to you guys. Would you guys like to see more Skylanders included in the giveaway / more winners? But they're going to be more common to uncommon Skylanders, right? Don't think your Doomstones and your, I don't know, Chompy Mages of the world. You know, maybe think more like a couple of the rare series characters, right? Like Series 3 Terrafin. Or something like that, right? They're not going to be as, like, chase as collectory as, you know, the other guys will be. But I'll be able to do those more. Or we can keep it on what we've been doing, where it's, you know, one rare Skylander, and the giveaways are a little bit longer. So you just, you know, let me know how you guys feel about that. To summarize, right, where I'm at personally, of time is just a lot more crunched. I have to switch to a giant. Lovely. Time's just a lot more of a crunch now. I'm getting to a point in the early stages of my career where it's really focused on, you know, working a lot outside of work, which kind of sucks. It could be much worse, right? But, you know, just until like the end of March, I'm not going to have as much time as I used to, for content creation and for streaming and all that fun stuff and that stuff that I know you guys enjoy. So that's where it's at. I still love Skylanders. I'm still very interested in making content for the game as well. You know, I literally went out today and I spent probably a little too much money on getting Skylanders. So, you know, the content's not going anywhere. It's just, it's gonna trim down for a little bit. The pump is gonna be less full. Moving on to my next topic of how do I feel about the current state of Skylanders, and I wanted to break this down into two parts, because there's a part that I'm really optimistic about, and there's a part that I'm very pessimistic about. Um, let's start with like the bad news, or like where I'm not feeling good. Of this hobby is just gonna like, I'll put the price chart up right now, if I remember to do that in the edit. But it's getting really expensive, and it's getting expensive towards the middle and top end, right? Um, but another, and like, listen, this is just me, this is my personal experience, but um, the Skylanders, you know, are becoming less available at local game stores. That's like the big issue that I've noticed is, you know, local game stores, retro game stores, even online. Like, you're either finding like ridiculously scalped prices for the Skylanders, or they're just not available anymore. And you know, I can interpret that in one of two ways. Of one way of, and this is why what I hope is happening, is that more people are getting into the hobby, and Skylanders are redistributing their way through the economy and through the ecosystem and into the community. I don't think that's happening. I think you're seeing a lot more people, who are stockpiling, and who are buying a ton of Skylanders with the intent of treating them like collectibles, of sitting on them and then selling them. Um, so, as discouraging as it is, I still think, though, that there is a net positive to be taken away, and this is where I'm going to become more positive about this. Um, I think the community's great. I think the community's growing. I think there's a lot of demand for more engagement in the community and more Skylanders content, which is awesome. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if this community keeps growing and keeps on building on itself, I think it's a positive, right? I think this is a good community. I think it's a fun game, and you know, I have a lot of good memories associated with it, as I'm sure most of everyone that's tuning in does. Um, you know, and I think there's like the community is getting to a point where like they're very passionate. I know that there was a modder on Reddit who just released an HD version of Spyro's Adventure, and that's really sweet. I think you're gonna see a little bit more interest in the the game and in the hobby and in the community, because just, you know, 10 years without Skylanders. It feels crazy, at least for me, of somebody who used to go home and play this game every day. Not having anything new come out in 10 years is crazy. And that kind of brings me to my last point of, I do not think we will be seeing any official new game content. I'm pretty sure U2's is gonna release new stuff. I think it was like all but confirmed, or all but officially confirmed, that U2's is gonna keep on making stuff, and there'll probably be extra stuff as well, just for that nostalgia cash bag to grab. But I do think that the community is in a great spot. I don't think we're gonna see anything new this year. Additionally, like, Activision Blizzard is a terrible company, and I will continuously drag them through the mud because I think they ruin everything good and nice in this world. But I just don't think we'll see anything new from Skylanders, at least in an official sense. I'm sure we'll see some more of the nostalgia and community stuff. That's kind of how I'm feeling about, like, the general community of, like, I think it's great that the game is continuously growing. I do think it's a net positive. I think it's really sweet to see more people getting into the hobby, to see more people, like, actively engaging with content. I think it's awesome seeing more content creators out there as well. The thing that just worries me is I think the supply of Skylanders is, like, going down. And it really wouldn't shock me if, you know, Chompy Mage and Robo and Breeze and Wildstorm got up to, like, all-time highs. So that would be, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So in summation of kind of like the entirety of this video, I'm sorry I disappeared for like the last month of the year. May not happen again. No promises there, but I'm going to try and make sure you guys have a little bit more of a heads up the next time. I think the community is in a good spot. I think there's a lot of really dedicated people out there who are invested in making a community, and that's great. I think the Skylanders economy is going to keep on getting expensive and keep on getting cost prohibitive for people. And then what you guys can expect from me is more this kind of content, more long form. As much as I love the streams, they're not as, like, I don't know. There's just a difference between making long form and short form content, and I just kind of want to get back into making long form content again. That's not to say that I won't be streaming anymore. I definitely will be, but pretty much to say until April, probably won't see me a ton. After April, you will be seeing a lot of me. I'm gonna make some better, like, non-slop content. I'll make some more better videos, and then I promise to God, I have it in my Amazon cart right now. I ordered a better mic. I ordered a lapel mic too, so it's not going to change with me coming back and forth from like the stable mic. I don't know, the stationary mic that I have. So yeah, next giveaway is going to be Excited Thrillipede. If you made it to this part of the video, say something. Put comment your Discord name in there, and I'll throw an extra giveaway entry for Doomstone. But yeah, I will see you guys later.